Welcome to another video from DIY Daily. Just got a full step-by-step guide today showing you how to fit a new front crankshaft seal on this 2014 Skoda Octavia. Now this one's the 1.6 TDI. It's also exactly the same procedure for the 2 litre TDI. I've done quite a few videos on these TDIs now, and I've had a few people commenting about how to replace the front crank seal. I've got one to replace now, so I thought I'd put the video together. And basically, to replace the crank seal, the timing belt does need to be off. So I'm just going to put, if you click on the link above, or you can find them in the description below, I've got a really detailed full step-by-step guide on replacing the timing belt and water pump. Basically, you can use that guide to get all the belts stripped off, and then once we're at the stage when we're ready to fit the new crank seal, I'll run through exactly everything that you need to do on this video here. Now, I'll just show you before we get into the video. If you check the links in the description below, I'll put links to a new seal where you can get them from, and also a timing pin kit and any other parts that we use as well. But basically, you can't get the crank seal separately. It all comes part of this complete housing. So, and just on the housing there, you can just see that section there, which is where this timing tool actually locks into when it's in place. But if you follow the video on the other guide, you'll get to this stage where obviously everything's locked off. But I'll jump to that step on this one. Just thought it was not really worth filming the whole video, and you can just refer to that one. It's exactly the same. It's on a 2 litre Golf TDI, but there's another one on a 1.6 Seat Leon as well. But it's pretty much exactly the same procedure, stripping it down. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, just click on the red subscribe button below. There's quite a lot of VAG group stuff you might want to check out as well. All I'm going to do now is just flip to the stage where everything's stripped off, and then we'll run you through replacing the seal. Right, so we've got this one all stripped down now. If you just come off from the other video, obviously you've got the belt off and everything. I have just put the new water pump on, just so it stops any antifreeze coming out. I'll give everything a really good clean down, just so it's nice to work with. When you do take this cover off, you'll be careful because it does expose a bit sort of access to the sump, so you don't really want a load of stuff dropping in the sump with the oil. Now, this one had a really bad oil leak coming down from this side. Once you cleaned it all off, you could just see it just keep coming out and dripping down there. So it was just leaking a little bit on this bottom corner as well. But now that we're at this stage, I'll just run you through it. I'm going to be using an impact driver to take this centre nut out. It is loads easier with an impact driver because you don't have to lock the flywheel. If you haven't got an impact driver, you're going to have to sort of find a way. There's a couple of different tools you can get to lock the flywheel so you can hold the engine solid to crack that off. I'm just going to use an impact driver. All I'm going to do, obviously the timing tool's on here, but we know where it lines up. Obviously it's got the little noggin on there, which lines up with the tool and then slots into the cover there. But while we do the job, obviously taking the pulley off, we're going to need this off. Now, because I'm using an impact driver, just while I'm undoing it, I'm actually just going to leave the tool in, just so it sort of locks it against there. Obviously when refitting it, it's not really advisable to do it up with it in, because it's only a little plastic locator in there for the tool, so you don't want to damage it. But I am just going to also, this has had a cam belt on it before, someone's put some paint marks on it, but I'm just going to put a little reference mark, just use a red marker, put a mark on there and a mark on there, just so I can keep a rough eye on it. As I'm undoing it, I just want to make sure, obviously it will turn a little bit, I can simply just turn it back and just put it into the correct place to time it up. But just a bit of a precautionary measure really, just to make sure it's not going too far out. So yeah, but it's basically at this stage now. We'll just buzz this centre pulley out with the buzz gun. I'll just run you through that quick, get that off, and then run you through what we need to do after that. Now the only other thing that I have done that I just forgot to say about as well is, it's only really just for the video, just to make it a lot easier, but I have actually just put the engine mount back on, just because I'm using a ramp. Just simply put the engine mount in, just with 2 bolts sort of horizontally and 2 on the top one, just so that I can put it up in the air. Obviously just with the ramp, it just makes it a bit easier to film it and access it, that's all. But normally if I was doing it, as soon as the belt's off, I'd just be doing this in situ while it's just jacked up. Well, the sort of engine's on the jack on the floor, that's all. So we'll just get that buzzed off now. Right, so you can just see with the impact driver, and it's just whipped the bolt straight out now. Once you've got it off, you can just simply pull it off. And it doesn't actually have a keyway as such on this one, not a separate one. The way that it locates, it's just got a little flat bit on there. Obviously lines up with a flat bit on the crankcase. You don't need to worry, it's not floating pulley or anything like that. So now that that's off, next thing we're going to do, we've just got 4 10mm bolts along the bottom. Just got to get all them out. Now you might find as well, some of these sumps, I mean this has actually had one on it but it's been took off at some point. They do have like a foam guard around them. They just hold on with these plastic rivets, just sort of 3 or 4 of them holding it around, and it just hooks in a few places, that's all. So you might need to get that foam off just to access these 4 on the bottom, that's all. But basically, yeah, the 4 10mm on the bottom, and then you've got 6 10mm around the outside. You can either use 10mm socket, or you can use an Allen key for the centre of them. So we'll just undo all these now and then get that off. When we're ready to get it off, it does have a rubber seal around the top section, but it's siliconed on the bottom here. So once we've got it off, it might be a little bit tight, and you would say just want to be a little bit careful not to drop anything into the sump as well. So. Right, so that's the old crank seal out of the way. Just give it a really light prying just along the bottom, just to try and just break it away. Just work your way along it. You don't need to pry too hard. You don't want to damage or score the alley there. But once you've cracked it off the bottom, you can just see there's just a seal on the inside which locates all around the top. And while it's off, let's just have a quick check of the belt. There's a belt in there, so let's just have a quick look at that, make sure it's okay. But next step we're going to do now is just spend a bit of time, just be really careful, just give us all a bit of a clean up, and then just clean up along the bottom there as well. Just make sure you really take your time, just in the corners where this one's actually leaking. See, it's actually quite badly sort of gummed up in the corner there, so if you don't get that right, there's a chance that the new one might not seal as well. So just give all that a quick clean up now, and just run you through refitting the new one on. Right, so just took my time there, giving that quite a nice clean up. Now this section of it's pretty easy to clean really, because it's just had rubber against it. It doesn't really get too bad, but just want to take your time to clean the bottom there. The original sealant comes off quite easily, so I just used a flat bladed razor blade just to get quite tight into the corners there. If you're using a razor blade, just be really careful not to obviously nick the belt with it at all. But now that that's done, we're ready to fit the new one. Now I've just got some silicone sealant. I've got one of these self-squeeze tubes, they're quite nice to use. But basically, on the new one, obviously the rubbers, you can see exactly where the rubber seal's located up to, and you basically need to be running along the inside there, just on the inside bit where it's going to butt up to the sump to seal the bottom section of it, that's all. I always like to put a little bit on there, and then I'll also just put a bit, it doesn't need a really thick layer or anything like that, but I will just put a little bit just on here as well, just to ensure that you've got right into the gap there and everything. But the main thing you need to be really careful with on this job is just basically when slotting your seal over the centre there, you want to be quite careful that you're not, obviously when we was taking it off, I was just prying it up, but obviously with the new one, you really want to just guide it on and let it just sort of push along the metal there at the bottom. So you just need to keep an eye on it as well, and just make sure when it's on that it looks like it's situated all nicely around it and it's not folded in or anything like that. So we'll just put a bit of silicone on it now and then get it into place and just run you through tightening it up. So now that that's located on, I'm just going to put the bottom ones in and just gently wind them down. It's just you'll find with the silicone that the seal is slightly sort of pushing up a little bit until you just nip them up lightly. So just really lightly nip them bottom ones down now. It's just the seal sort of slightly sits up, it just pulls it down. Next thing I do is just back all 4 off just slightly, and you can run round all the top 6, get them all in. Basically give all of them a light nip, and then go around them all one by one, giving them another nip. So I haven't got the proper torque setting, but if I find it I'll put it in the description below. But these are only, they don't want to be too tight, just a bit more than a light nip really. Now that they're all hand tight, I'm just going to give them a nip and just see. I'm using quite a small ratchet, just that way it's nice to get a good feel for it and make sure you don't over tighten them. Right, so now that that's on, we're all properly nipped up now, and just have a good look at your seal. Just make sure it's nicely situated around there. It doesn't look like it's snagged and pulled out or anything like that. So, but now that we've done that, and just simply put the crank pulley back on. I'm just going to put a little paint mark on there again. I'm just going to buzz it up with the impact driver. This time I'm not going to put the locking tool in. I don't want to risk damaging that. But really, it's easy with the impact driver. Obviously fairly confident using one, but it's good. You don't have to go too silly with it, but a good buzz, it'll be plenty tight enough. So obviously if you're torquing it up, I'll put the proper torque setting in the description below, but if you are torquing it, you will need to lock the flywheel to do it. Right, so we've just done that up with the impact driver. Obviously you can just see with the paint mark. It doesn't really matter about the paint mark because you can't get it too wrong. Obviously we put the timing tool in there. We know it locates up with that peg there, so we'll just put it back to the right place anyway. But it's just a gauge, just to make sure. I mean, it wouldn't really happen anyway, but with buzzing it, you want to make sure it doesn't go more like one full lap round and out of the way. So it's just a quick gauge, you can see it while you're doing it up, that's all. So well, I'm just going to set that back right now into place, and that's basically the actual lower crank seal all replaced. So you can obviously revert back to the other video now, just for refitting the belt, tensioning it up and everything like that. But hope you like the video. A few people have asked about the crank seal now, so I thought I'd share this one and put it on there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.